Everton played in 4 Wembley FA Cup finals during the 1980s. They met this year's other finalists, Manchester United, as holders in 85, the second of 3 consecutive finals. This 85 match went to extra time before Norman Whiteside struck the only goal to deny Everton. This season, Everton's indifferent league form saw the dismissal of Mike Walker, Joe Royle taking over. The Wembley Trail saw the Toffees drawn at home 3 times. The third round brought Derby County to Goodison, themselves in the bottom half of Division 1. In a tight match, it took a brilliant save by veteran goalkeeper Neville Southall to deny Derby taking the lead. The 36-year-old Everton stalwart had kept goal in all 4 finals during the 80s and is obviously looking to add to that winners' medal in 1984. It was with minutes left that Andy Hinchcliffe broke the hearts of battling Derby with his first goal of the season. His drive from the edge of the box beating keeper Steve Sutton. And after their exit at this stage last season, Everton were on their way. A rare goal this from Andy Hinchcliffe, better known for his delivery of free kicks and corners, a key factor in Everton's revival under Joe Royle. The 4th round saw a visit to Ashton Gate to face Bristol City, just 1 off the bottom of the First Division, but with a win over Sheffield United on their latest outing. Everton had beaten Palace in the Premiership a week earlier, with their £4.25 million signing Duncan Ferguson scoring 2. But it was the West Country side who came closest in the first half, Tinian striking the base of Southall's right-hand post. If this is seen as a let-off for Everton, it certainly inspired Bristol. In the second half, Tinian had another chance. A free header that wasn't cleared, and Allison wastes a golden opportunity to the relief of Southall. With 12 minutes remaining, it was fullback Matthew Jackson who was left to settle matters. This time the City defence are all at sea, and Matt hits a superb half volley that gives keeper Welsh no chance. So Jackson becomes the unlikely hero with his first goal for the club, and Everton go into round 5. This time they had a home draw against fellow Premiership side Norwich, who were 8 places above them in 10th. Both sides came to the match off 2-2 draws. Norwich at home to Southampton, Everton at West Ham. A couple of interested spectators at the game, standing in Premiership order, Kenny Dalglish of Blackburn and Alex Ferguson of Manchester United.
Martin Bodnam is the referee. The Goodison Park pitch has seen better days, but Norwich at least know something about it. They were here in the league a couple of weeks ago and were beaten 2-1. Neville Southall, a survivor from the Everton side that won the cup in 1984. Bradshaw. Sheeran has got in behind Hinchcliffe, has to strike it himself, and it was a praiseworthy attempt. There was very little support in the centre, and although the angle was an awkward one, the ball bounced up invitingly. But at the moment, the movement of Mike Sheeran is leading Everton a bit of a dance defensively. Shearer got the 2 goals, a major factor in the 4th round replay win over Coventry at Carrow Road to set up this tie at Goodison Park. Ferguson got to it, Limpar lines it up. Oh! Well, he has rediscovered the knack of scoring goals. Anders Limpar, his 2nd this week. Like a shell, it exploded into the net of Simon Tracy. Ferguson a factor. Limpa onto the right foot, a second or two to set the sights, and the target was found extravagantly here by the Swedish international. Joe Royle scored his last ever league goal on this ground for Norwich against Everton in the early 80s. John Dean concerned now at the way his side had started here. Here's the Norwich left back, Mark Bowen. Right out from Edward's pass, Paul right out, powering on and then not able to really have mastery of the ball. They're claiming that it went to Tracy via a back pass from Newsom, and the referee ruling that it just ran off the defender. Newsom was struggling here to start with, and right out muscled his way in front of him, but Newsom got back. The problem for Norwich is that in away games they really have found it hard to score. Now they have to if they want to stay in the FA Cup. Well, it was half an opportunity there beyond the far post for Robert Allathorpe. Deep cross from Bradshaw over the big man, and the midfield player arriving couldn't steer the header onto the target. Newman. Jackson. Ferguson just ducking in behind Norwich, and Newman in particular. Stewart. Gets the cross in, right out! It's in! And it's forced over the line by Joe Parkinson. Tracy could only parry the right-out header. Great work by Stewart down the right-hand side. Right-out goes in, gets there first, pushed out by Tracy, and Parkinson gets full reward for following in. And it's all going Everton's way here. 2 up in the 24th minute. And Parkinson gets his first goal for Everton. Absolutely vital for John Dean's team to defend well here. Hinchcliffe's throw. Right out. Ferguson. Still. Corner. One last chance perhaps in this half for Andy Hinchcliffe to perform his party piece. Everton well represented in Tracy's goal area. It was a fight really from the home players as to who was going to get their head to it. Another missile launched by Hinchcliffe, and it flew over off the combination of Ferguson and Ablett. Tentative, and the second time he completely mistimed the challenge. Might have dealt with it a bit better against Rideout, and then was clattering in to Graham Stewart, and Bradshaw is booked. Only had 6 minutes of the second half, and Bradshaw and Newsom have both been cautioned since the break. closes Stewart to the touchline. The referee's saying if you want any more attention, you've got to cross that line and vacate the premises for the moment. But Stewart wants to stay on. Hinchcliffe to veer this in. Well, it came at an awkward height for Watson, but it was a chance. And Norwich fortunate to survive against their former captain, who lifted silverware at Wembley, of course, in the shape of the League Cup back in the mid-80s. Decided to drop to his knees to head the ball. Couldn't control the header in the end. Just skipped away from such. Well, the referee now, having booked Newsom early in the second half, shows him a second yellow card, which equals red, and Norwich straining to get back into the game. Will now have to do it with 10 men. Their captain goes. The catching Limpar here, just in the mind of the referee, outside the penalty area. It's a free kick and not a penalty kick, but a sending off for a second yellow for Newsom. Hinchcliffe takes. Yes, poor ride out, and that should be that. Norwich City have paid a very heavy price for the Newsom foul. He gets sent off. Hinchcliffe takes the free kick. Right out, right is. Tracy can't prevent it going in. It's 3-0. And Everton can be looking forward now to a place in the last 8 of this year's FA Cup. And this excellent spell for Paul Rideout, who's much travelled and hasn't always delivered what he's promised to do. Well, it's a maturing ride out here. Everton. Ferguson is through. 4-0 in the most emphatic fashion. And he certainly deserved to be amongst the marksmen here. Limpar drew Norwich towards him, and Ferguson found the room, just pulling away and striding on with regal confidence here to slam it in. Off goes Rideout to give Stuart Barlow a run. And Ferguson was leading the applause then. Well, Norwich City rightly proud of their cup fighting traditions, although they've never won the FA Cup itself. Eadie, beaten out by Southall. Sheeran, possible opportunity from the rebound, then enters a goal kick. But while referring to some glorious past for Norwich, particularly in their giant-killing days when they were lower down the league scale, this has not been a cup day for them to remember by any means, despite Eadie's effort then that forced the save from Southall. Sheeran. It's run on for Goss. Everall in the way. Still Goss. Great commitment here from a depleted and indeed beaten Norwich City. Bowen. So much effort has gone into supporting Goss's break on the right that Norwich will be worried about getting the right shape to their defending against Barlow. Newman, that was a bit wild. Ferguson, Barlow falling. It comes for Graham Stewart and he's hooked it badly. Rob Newman had dealt with it initially and then others were called upon like Pryor. Even so it was set up for Stewart, but he didn't accept the opportunity. Here's Newman. Eadie with a chance to whip in across here. Oh, so unlucky. Mike Sheeran, and it sums up Norwich City's plight here. It was a real show of defiance, this. Lovely cross from Eadie, soaring header from Sheeran. And look at that, it dropped. It could have gone in off Southall, but he fell on it. And still nothing for Norwich. And Limpar could have inflicted more agony. He had one to beat here. It was Rob Newman, he was past him. And the player who started off the scoring and shaped the destiny of this cup tie. Well, it's not going to be an expensive miss, but it's a miss nonetheless. Hinchcliffe. Stewart is their first, lovely control, super goal. It sets it all off nicely. 5 for Everton, 5 different goal scorers as well. Still a couple of minutes of torture for Norwich to endure. It's been a terrible afternoon for them. But enthralling for Everton Football Club, and the margin of victory widens even further. Watson. Everton are into the quarter-finals emphatically.
Joe, there's winning cup ties and there's winning cup ties. That was very emphatic.
Yes, could have been more actually. You knew it wasn't Norwich's day, of course, when they did hit the bar, even down to 10 men. But we were always comfortable in the cup tie, I felt. And once we'd got that first goal, you know, I was always confident we'd go on and win it. But 5-0's a bonus.
The first goal came from Anders Limpar. You've reactivated him this week and he scored a couple of goals for you now.
Well, you can see today the things he's done here. And George will tell you the same, George Graham. He's got phenomenal ability. We all want a little bit more consistency out the fella, but when he can do things like that, you know, you have to have a place for him.
An emphatic win for Everton and a buoyant Joe Royle through to the 6th round. The further you go, the harder it gets, and they don't come much better than Kevin Keegan's Newcastle United, 3rd in the Premiership, coming off the back of a 2-0 win over West Ham 3 days earlier, whilst Everton had been beaten at Forest. The form book didn't favour the boys in blue. But as the teams filed out onto the Goodison pitch, form meant nothing to these fans. They were there to lift their team all the way to Wembley.
The referee is Keith Cooper from Pontypridd, and we're underway in this FA Cup quarter-final. Mark Hottiger looking for Kitson. Gary Ablett gets out of trouble well. Well, Ablett's obviously slotting into the centre of the Everton back four. Venison Only as far as Unsworth. Looks long for Ferguson, but Venison is there again. Ferguson gets the better of him and it breaks for Limpar. Still Limpar. Ebrel. Well, that was a golden opportunity for John Ebrel. His first touch, though, was not good. Limpar's run all the way to the byline, and it stemmed from that challenge by Ferguson winning the ball. And he put it really on a plate. And the awful first touch meant the chance had gone. But Everton showing they're a threat and using the wing player Anders Limpar, a man in form. Offside again. Well, Limpar's got 3 goals in the last 6 games for Joe Royle's team, and there was almost setting one up. Really is a man in form. Fox has been allowed to run for Lee. Now Gillespie. Ebrel. Horn. Skips around Beresford. Ferguson holds it up now for Limpar. And Ferguson again. Too far ahead of Joe Parkinson. And Beresford can nip in. And that's what this game's all about, nip and tuck at the moment. Fox. Oh, Ruel Fox. A good shot from him. 11 goals this season for Ruel Fox. Explosive shooting power as Newcastle broke well. And that screamed across the face of goal. Ferguson wins that one cleanly. Barlow! Off the bar! It was route 1. Southall's clearance. Ferguson's touch on. And Barlow's shot. Cannoning back off the bar. Newcastle playing a fairly strict offside game that Everton have fallen into. Watson wins it, but only as far as Fox. Still Ruel Fox. Lee. Gillespie is wide. Support from Hodiger. Bracewell, good touch from him. Lee. Fox. Southall gathers in the end. Beautifully constructed move from Newcastle. Wonderful to watch. The patient build-up and then the incisive cutting move there. And then a drag back that was so cute from Fox. Half an hour gone, no goals. Stuart Barlow, though, the closest to opening the scoring when he hit the bar. Good little flick on from Kitson for Lee Clark. Good save, Southall. Unsworth clears it behind. Lee Clark with a sight-on goal there. Corner now for Newcastle. Gillespie will take it. Looks for Peacock. Ferguson's header away. Bracewell returns it for Gillespie. Play on. Bracewell, they're appealing again for a handball. Again, it's not given. Gillespie. Unsworth to clear the danger. And by Everton, a couple of moments breathing space. Barlow for Jackson. Good header on from Ebrel, but the flag has gone up. I think the free kick has been given though before that for a foul by Peacock on John Ebrel. So now Everton with a chance to get the big men forward. Dave Watson has come up. Matt Jackson has come up. Joe Parkinson is in there. It's land of the Giants time. Limpar with the free kick. He's looking for Watson. It was a clear header. Venison away. Ablett gets beaten by the bounce and by Beresford. Can Newcastle counter-attack? Comes off the back of Gillespie. Horn being pursued by Kitson. And the half-time whistle blows. It's goalless, but a thriller. Played at a helter-skelter pace. But at the break, it's Everton 0, Newcastle 0. It's Unsworth for Watson. Aimed towards Ferguson, who does get a touch on it. Bracewell. Lee Clark. Now Jackson. Well, I wonder what Kevin Keegan has been saying to his team during the half-time interval. And again, Peacock, he stands his ground well, but only as far as Limpar and Parkinson. Well, over the bar from Joe Parkinson. He's only scored one goal for Everton. It came in the FA Cup in the 5-0 win over Norwich in the last round. Lee's header. Ablett though. And Limpar. Peacock. Kitson has got the better of Watson, but the ball just wouldn't come down for him. Parkinson sending it wide for Limpar. First touch for Unsworth on the burst overlap. Sernacek quickly gets it going to Fox, and the early ball for Lee Clark. As again space is starting to open up. Fox is screaming for it inside him. Here he is. Ablett sends Barlow away from one end to the other. Oh, it's just wide. Stuart Barlow, whose effort rattled the bar in the first half, sends another one, this time just wide. Venison had a go at him there. Lucky he didn't catch him. He'd have had to go. He'd have had to have been sent off if he had. Barry Venison's a lucky man. The temperature rises. Limpar. Ferguson has got goal side. It's an ambitious effort. Well, the Everton fans have got something to cheer about. This was bold. Shows the confidence that Ferguson's playing with. It's just the Barlow opportunity. Look at that lunge from Venison. Maybe it put him off as well. Limpar gets the better of Hottinger and is tripped, and it's a yellow card for Paul Bracewell. Newcastle's miracle man, playing after 9 operations during his injury-dogged career. And now Joe Royle decides it's time for a change. Limpar goes off, having won that free kick, and Graham Stewart comes on. Unsworth with it. Fox away. Jackson will have to go to keep it in. He does. Matt Jackson, the former Luton Town player, scored the winner at Bristol City in round 4. John Royle's made that change. See what threat Stewart will pose. Former Chelsea man. It's very fast, quite direct. Unsworth with the free kick. Ferguson is up. Stewart is making nuisance of himself. And Everton have scored. And it's the skipper, Dave Watson. Goodison goes berserk. It's Everton 1, Newcastle 0. Dave Watson's 4th goal of the campaign. The dead ball situation. Ferguson rose. What a contribution from the big man. And the loose ball headed in by Dave Watson. Another prodigious leap. He got away from Peacock on that occasion. Pottinger could only knock it up in the air. Cernicek got a glove on it, but couldn't keep it out. And Everton heading into the last 4 over the FA Cup. Ferguson gets the header on. Elliott uses Cernicek. And the former Soldier. For Ferguson. As Kevin Keegan plots her way back. Venison. Clark. Hottinger. With pressure from Newcastle. Comes for Kitson. Clark! What a save! Fox! It was a golden opportunity. And Raul Fox blew it. Kitson's creativity, brilliant reactions from Southall to push it away from Clark. And Fox into the side netting. Newcastle have made another substitution. Steve Watson has come on. And here he is. Chance for Everton to break. Stewart's pushed it too far. Gillespie going on a run. Watson was in there. Lee! Well, they're going for broke, Newcastle, because the man they took off was Mark Hottinger, the fullback. Clark is offside. So they've got a 3-man backline now with Venison, Peacock and Elliott. Keegan is gambling to stay in the FA Cup. Kevin Keegan has rolled the dice. And Watson is playing up front. Keegan's still directing matters. Ferguson's touch on. He's Venison. He's going to have a lot of ground to cover now as we go into the last 10 minutes. So too is Peacock. Play from Fox. Venison launching one. They've got to play the percentages now. They've got more men forward. One of them is Lee Clark, and he couldn't quite catch it up. Barlow's header. Parkinson. Ferguson will chase. Peacock makes a mess of it. Ferguson! Cool handling from Cernicek. Ferguson knows that was a chance. Peacock made an error. But Fox, perhaps a last chance as we go into injury time. Southall will bring that down. Joe Royle off the bench. He's only seconds away from a place in the semi-finals. Cernicek just out of play, and Everton fans all around the ground are on their feet. An eruption is only seconds away. Jackson's throw. More time off the clock. Barlow will try and hold it up. Still in. Well, he did well. Did what he was asked. Now, Newcastle get a chance. What an epic encounter against Newcastle. Sir John Hall clapping the efforts of both teams. Dave Watson's header splits the sides. Newcastle will continue their distant pursuit of Manchester United and Blackburn in the title run-in. Realistically, they know a UEFA place is probably their only consolation. Everton, for a while anyway, forget their relegation fears. They go into the semi-finals of the FA Cup. It's Everton 1, Newcastle 0.
Another clean sheet and Dave Watson's goal, enough for a place in the semis against the team with their name on the cup, Tottenham Hotspur. They'd scored 6 in their 6th round replay against Southampton and were odds on to get to Wembley. Unfortunately, nobody told Joe Royle and his players, and their supporters occupied 3 sides of the Elland Road Stadium in Leeds. As the 1:30 kick-off approached, there was a carnival atmosphere in anticipation of the entertainment to come.
A wonderful reception. And there's no doubt about it, the atmosphere is a little different, isn't it, Trevor, on a league ground as against Wembley?
Well, there is that closer proximity, isn't there, of the supporters to the pitch. Certainly just walking on the surface beforehand and chatting to supporters, they thought it was better to have the semi-final at a neutral place such as this and leave Wembley for the showpiece on the big occasion.
And Jerry Francis, who's turned things round at Tottenham, wonders today whether this will be a strategic battle or whether it will be a bit of a scrap, as semi-finals, Joe Royle knows all too well, can often be. Joe, who's been beaten twice at this stage as manager of Oldham. So Robbie Hart, who has taken charge of some big matches this season and had to make some fairly important decisions too. He starts the semi-final, Everton playing in blue and white from the right. Ablett again. A lot of balls in the direction of Rideout. Limpar's out there. Oh, and Walker makes a good save. It was even applauded by Limpar.
Yes, but it's just showed Stuart Nethercott, being a central defender, was drawn in to make the challenge alongside Gary Mabbott. He had no need to, and it cleared all of them and left Limpar by himself.
Now watch Unsworth and watch Watson. Spurs have to defend with a great deal of resilience on these corners. Andy Hinchcliffe, one of the best corner takers in the business. This was the Limpar shot, and that was the Walker save. Hinchcliffe with the corner. Well, I have to be careful there. Paul Rideout came in behind Dave Watson, and the expression on the face suggests that was a chance.
Well, it was a clear header, wasn't it? Colin Calderwood held his hand up because he got away from him. You see, he gets in front of him, he's not challenged, and there's the hand going up from Calderwood saying, yes, I know I should have got closer. That is, from there, with the ability of Rideout in the air, a very good chance indeed, and you can see the frustration.
That long kick by Walker goes all the way through.
Looks very nervous, didn't he, Nev? Just casually waving there. You wouldn't think it's a semi-final looking at him.
He has his own way of preparing. He was here before the rest of the players. Here's Nethercott. Header out was by Watson. Then Calderwood. Now it's Anderton. Howells. Now Barmby's coming to the middle more, which he often does from that left-sided position. This is Popescu. Sheringham. Bit tight for Howells. Rideout got there. This is Limpar. Stewart going through the middle. And Jackson striding up outside Limpar. Third time.
That's the danger, isn't it? Once he's running at you, it's been a problem. They won possession, didn't they, when Rideout tackled Howells? And it is the classic Everton at the moment, not allowing Spurs a yard of space, winning possession and looking dangerous as they turn Spurs' defence around.
Good touch play initially by Everton, and then Spurs scrambled their way into the tackle, and the ball was smuggled away by Howells, who was brought down by Watson, and it was Tottenham who were doing the scrapping there in midfield.
There's great hustling just before that by an Everton quartet, although in the end Horne and Parkinson were so competitive they tackled each other, and that allowed Spurs to break.
Well, Neville Southall looks out and sees 5 white shirts round the ball. Anderton, the central figure here, and Howells. And rolled across to Gary Mabbott. Oh, and Southall and an orthodox save.
Looked as if it must have taken some sort of deflection, because Neville Southall started to go to his left and then used his feet to actually clear the ball. But a double push across the sort of edge of the 18-yard box. I'm surprised Gary Mabbott, you wouldn't associate him normally with hitting the free kick from here. But as you can say, hits it low. There's a lot of legs in there, but it just seen it late, obviously, and it's curling round, but he uses his feet, and it's effective.
Here's Stewart. Oh, and a chance surely for Rideout if it comes across. Graham Stewart, a really good run. And Paul Rideout was the player in the centre. But not for the first time, Gary Mabbott saved Tottenham.
Great defensive play there by Mabbott. Mistake by Howells, just tried to play out, and got himself in trouble, and Gary Mabbott saving the day.
Jackson's header! Oh, it's in! Matt Jackson at the near post. Everton have taken the lead. "35 minutes into the semi-final. The corner taken inevitably by Hinchcliffe, and Matt Jackson seems to glance that beyond Ian Walker.
Well, it just clears Stuart Nethercott, doesn't it? Look, he's just got the wrong side of him. Jackson takes it, nobody at the near post, and it's in the net.
It's his second FA Cup goal. Jackson, he got the winner at Bristol City in an earlier round. But that one, depending on what else happens today, he'll remember for a lot longer.
It's exactly as we've said though on the set pieces. He puts them in at such pace, Andy Hinchcliffe. If you just get caught the wrong side and you're out of position and he gets the faintest of touches, that's what's going to end up more often than not.
Celebrations on three sides of the ground. But you're always vulnerable when you've just scored a goal. Darren Anderton's going across now to take a corner for Tottenham. And Gary Mabbutt has come forward. And so is Calderwood on the line. Up goes Sheringham!
Well, it was close, wasn't it? Just gets above Watson, but on the post there, Andy Hinchcliffe would have cleared it if necessary.
Well, right on cue, there is the whistle, and they do deserve to be one up. Of that, there is no question. Matthew Jackson, who curiously was Leeds born, so fitting place for him to score, has given Everton the lead in the first half of the semi-final with a near-post header, with the applause ringing out from the Merseyside fans, and Tottenham wandering off, looking a shade bewildered. Their game plan has been all mixed up by Everton, and at half-time, they're a goal behind.
So Spurs kick off again, a goal down, and manager Jerry Francis will be expecting a comeback much as the one against Southampton in the 6th round when they were 2 down. Can Everton keep up their momentum?
Well, they're now playing from left to right, and here's Popescu for Tottenham to Klinsmann on towards Barmby. And you'd expect Tottenham to start strongly. Sheringham into Klinsmann, not quite, and away by Ablett the second time. Here's Stewart. Horn, Limpar. He's driven that fairly optimistically, but Dean Austin didn't make proper contact, and it's Stewart. Up alongside him comes Andy Hinchcliffe. Rideout's the only player in the middle for Everton. This is Ablett. Stewart. Goes again, return from Hinchcliffe to Stewart. Rideout on the near post, not far away. Here's Graham Stewart. And Barry Horn's making a run forward, ominously. It's Stewart! Oh, right out! No, there's a flag up on the far side. There's a flag up on the far side, and offside, I think. It doesn't stand. Watch this, Graham Stewart comes inside. Watch 15 right out, offside there. And when he comes into the play off the goalkeeper, it has to be an active offside, as FIFA would say, not passive. So the flag went up and the score remains 1-0. But what about now? It's right out, clean through against Walker. Good save by Walker. Stewart! It's 2-0 now! It's Graham Stewart! Well, they're saying get off the pitch, the Everton players, because certain fans came on to celebrate. And Graham Stewart here follows up a right-out shot, which Walker beats out, but Rideout, who had a goal wiped out, or an effort wiped out, seconds earlier, this time is the instigator of the second Everton goal. He shoots, Walker saves, and look at Graham Stewart, he's only got to tap the ball in the net.
Well, it was a giveaway, wasn't it, from Spurs' point of view? Losing possession like that, 2 against 1, right out through. Walker made a good save actually on the first one, but Stewart again picking up the pieces. They got away with it just a minute or two before with the offside, but not a second occasion. Now, of course, they did come back against Southampton, but this one is, I think, an even taller order. And I suspect though Ronnie Rosenthal has got to be introduced.
Anderton floated for Klinsmann. Oh, and Southall. Unsworth away.
Barmby came late, but that's when you need the more numbers in the penalty area. It was a good cross, a loose ball bobbling in front of the goal, and it was again an Everton player got to it first.
Klinsmann again, he's causing problems. Sheringham's in there. Oh, there's a penalty, is there? Yes! Sheringham went over, and the referee's given a penalty. Everton protest. Sheringham fell, was pushed, or bundled. Whatever you feel about it, it's in by Barnby, it's on by Klinsmann. Now watch Teddy Sheringham, he goes up. Oh, well, it looked a softish one to me, David Watson, but a penalty it is. The referee is waving away more protests. It's a soft one, that, but the fact of the matter is, the referee has given it, and it's Klinsmann against Southall. Will it be the first goal that Everton have conceded in the FA Cup this season? It is, and it's put Tottenham back in the game. Jurgen Klinsmann gets the ball out the back of the net and sprints back to the halfway line. Good effort by Southall to stop it. He went the right way, I think you'll find here. But the power of Klinsmann's shot, yes, right in the corner, beautifully struck.
It was a good penalty. Remember, he missed one against Liverpool recently, so it might have been at the back of his mind in the league, but he didn't worry, did he? Took the responsibility, but I mean, it's a lifeline given to Spurs. There's no way for me that was a penalty.
Paul Rideout is lying prostrate in the other half of the field. Well, they're calling for a stretcher, and we may be seeing the end of Rideout because of this. Anderton stretches to take the ball, in all fairness. That wasn't a foul tackle, but Rideout went down with a painful expression on his face, and having been out for so long with that knee, one hopes it's not the same injury, but I think Amakachi's got to come on, yes. They've given him a signal from the far side, Joe Royle. Rideout's not coming back, and the Nigerian, who only last week made his first starting appearance since Joe Royle's first match, is now in the action in an FA Cup semi-final. Daniel Amakachi, the £3 million man. Jackson with a clearance that's only really carried the ball across to Darren Anderton. Spurs are piling players in there now, they've got to. This is Barnby with the header on. It's Nethercott, saved by Southall's legs from the left back, and on the break Anders Limpar. They've got 4 against 4. Graham Stewart had to check, he would have run off the pitch. Inside him is Barry Horn here, number 10. Stewart's available now. That's his cross. Amakachi! 3-1 Everton. And Wembley beckons now. The Nigerian, who almost disappeared for half the season, has brought Tottenham to their knees. Barry Horn to Graham Stewart, delivered it perfectly, and the Nigerian beats Walker at the far post to restore Everton's 2-goal advantage. Nethercott's going to come off, and Ronnie Rosenthal is going to come on. There will be 6 minutes for Spurs to save it. Quite a week for Merseyside. That happens. Here's Barnby. And it's back to him from Klinsmann. In go the tackles, and the interceptions, and the passes, and the release ball to Anders Limpar. Now he's got somebody sprinting up to his left. I think it's Gary Ablett there. And Amakachi is square and unmarked. Amakachi, surely! It's another one! It's another one! And that's it now. It's all over. Well, Amakachi 2, Everton 4, the Tottenham dream over. Trevor Brooking.
Well, it's a wonderful goal, wasn't it? They just didn't sit back. Gary Ablett, a superb ball across the face. Daniel Amakachi didn't hesitate, kept it well enough below the crossbar. But, you know, to see Everton still surging forward at 3-1 just shows that the confidence that they've played with all the game And I mean, I think now the scoreline probably reflects how the 90 minutes have gone.
Well, the referee got a touch there, but his next job presumably is to blow the final whistle, but we wait here to see what happens as Amakachi goes in again past Mamet. It's going to be a hat-trick, is it? No. Well, that would have been the first hat-trick in an FA Cup semi-final since 1958. Hasn't been done since Alex Dawson did it for Manchester United against a Fulham team that included Jimmy Hill. Everton are through to the FA Cup final. It's third time lucky Joe Royle, and it was a thumping victory in the end. Jerry Francis's team on the day, finishing a very clear second. Graham Stewart, the Littlewoods man of the match, is mobbed as he leaves the field. Fans are on the pitch now, but it's celebratory rather than threatening. And the match will be remembered for the substitute Daniel Amakachi coming on after the unfortunate injury to Paul Rideout and scoring twice. The only reply from Tottenham amidst all that was a rather dodgy penalty decision, which was converted by Jurgen Klinsmann.
Daniel Amakachi settling the match when he came on, and with the news that Duncan Ferguson will be out until the end of the season, Amakachi could be rewarded with a start in the final at Wembley. And will these scenes of 1984 be repeated on May the 20th at the end of the road to Wembley, when the opposition will be Manchester United?